The notion that science is satanic and deceptive to faithful Christians is a perspective held by some individuals who believe that scientific findings and theories contradict their religious beliefs. This viewpoint often stems from a misunderstanding of the fundamental principles of science and its relationship with faith. Proponents of this idea argue that science is an attempt to supplant God and undermine the authority of the Bible, thereby leading Christians astray from their spiritual path. One of the primary concerns of those who view science as satanic is the theory of evolution, which they see as a direct challenge to the biblical account of creation. They argue that by suggesting that humans evolved from a common ancestor with other animals, science is implicitly denying the special creation of humanity by God. However, this criticism is based on a narrow interpretation of the Bible and a lack of understanding of the scientific method. The theory of evolution is not a value judgment about the origins of humanity, but rather an explanation of the observed diversity of life on Earth, supported by overwhelming evidence from multiple fields of study, including genetics, paleontology, and comparative anatomy. Another area of contention is the scientific community's acceptance of the Big Bang Theory as the origin of the universe. Some Christians see this as an attempt to replace the biblical account of creation with a secular, materialistic explanation. However, the Big Bang Theory is not inherently anti-religious, and many scientists who are also Christians see no conflict between their faith and the scientific evidence. The Big Bang Theory describes the initial expansion of the universe, but it does not attempt to explain the ultimate cause or purpose of the universe, which is a question that may be addressed by theology and philosophy. Furthermore, some critics of science argue that it is based on a flawed and limited methodology that ignores the role of the supernatural and the divine. They claim that science is reductionist, breaking down complex phenomena into their constituent parts without considering the larger, spiritual context. However, this criticism reflects a misunderstanding of the scientific method, which is designed to study the natural world through observation, experimentation, and evidence-based reasoning. Science is not equipped to investigate supernatural claims, not because it is inherently atheistic or anti-religious, but because such claims are, by definition, outside the realm of empirical observation and testing. Additionally, the idea that science is lying to faithful Christians applies a level of intentionality and deceit that is not supported by evidence. Scientists, like any other group of professionals, are motivated by a desire to understand the world and to contribute to the advancement of human knowledge. While individual scientists may hold personal beliefs that are at odds with Christianity, the scientific community as a whole is driven by a commitment to objectivity, skepticism, and the pursuit of truth, rather than a desire to promote any particular ideological or theological agenda. It is also worth noting that many Christians have made significant contributions to science throughout history, from Galileo to Isaac Newton, and that the pursuit of scientific knowledge and the pursuit of faith are not mutually exclusive. In fact, many scientists see their work as a way of understanding and appreciating the creation of God, rather than denying its existence. The relationship between science and faith is complex and multifaceted, and it is not necessarily a zero-sum game where one must choose between the two. In conclusion, the notion that science is satanic and deceptive to faithful Christians is based on a flawed understanding of the scientific method and its relationship with faith. While there may be legitimate areas of tension and debate between science and Christianity, the idea that science is inherently anti-religious or deceitful is not supported by evidence. By engaging in open and respectful dialogue, Christians and scientists can work together to promote a deeper understanding of the world and our place within it, without sacrificing either their faith or their commitment to scientific inquiry. Ultimately, the pursuit of knowledge and the pursuit of faith are complementary, rather than contradictory, endeavors that can enrich and inform one another.